Hey, good afternoon, beauty bosses. This is Felita Daniel Lee, direct sales leader with New Avon LLC. I'm coming out to you today. I wanted to talk to you about something so important that is just generally not discussed in business at all. Most of the time when you join a business, when you join a company, or if you start a business, the last thing that's on your mind is record keeping. Okay, the last thing is on your mind is really record keeping. Now, although record keeping can be a very, very daunting task, it's a very important task that you must make sure that you are keeping records. You are keeping good records for your business so that you can make sure that you are in compliance with the Internal Revenue Service. So I'm going to talk to you today and share with you some important, valuable information as to the reason why it's important to keep good records. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the IRS requires all business owners to keep good records. Okay. Keeping good records will help you, number one, monitor the progress of your business. You need to know where you are at all times in your business. You need to know whether or not you're making profit or you're constantly, losing. And we all know that if you're constantly losing and if you're always in the negative, then we know that, it's time to kind of analyze things and take a look at things and make some decisions. But no matter what type of business that you are in, understand that all businesses take time to progress. Most people start businesses and they want to see a huge profit right away, and that it just does not happen that way. Building a business takes time. Most of the time in most businesses, it'll take you a couple of years before you actually really start to turn a profit. Now, sometimes it can take a little bit, the curve could be a little bit shorter, but it all depends on your skill level and where you are as far as your skill level is concerned. So keeping good records helps you to monitor the progress of your business. It also increases the likelihood of your business success. Okay. It also helps you to prepare your financial statements, your profit and loss, or your income statements and balance sheet. Now, you might be asking the question, what exactly is an income statement and what exactly is a balance sheet? Well, an income statement shows the income and the expenses of the business for a given period of time. And a balance sheet shows the assets, the liabilities, and your equity in the business on a given date. Okay, now these statements can help you when dealing with banks and creditors. Now, just to give you an example, when I bought my vehicle several years ago, when I went in to the car dealership, um, I had to produce documentation on my income. Now, at that time, and whether or not you're trying to buy a home or buy a car or whatever it may be, you're going to have to provide a statement to the bank and to the creditors. Now, this helps them to understand exactly what you're working with and how much money you actually have so that they can make a determination as to how much credit that they can actually extend to you. Okay, so that's the reason why it's important for you to make sure that you have an income statement. Now, when I was purchasing my car, I had to provide this documentation. I had to have this. I had to basically provide my bank statement at the time, and I had to show them because I didn't have this system at the time, and I wish that I had this system at the time. But you're going to have to be able to produce documentation to show the banks or the creditors exactly where you are in your business. Otherwise, they won't do business with you because you can't provide any documentation of where your income is. Another reason why you must keep good records is because you're going to be receiving money from your customers, your clients, your company, or your distributor. You're going to be receiving money from these people. Okay, so your records can identify the source of all of your receipts. Okay, you need this information to separate business from non-business receipts and taxable from non-taxable income. Okay. Now, another reason why is because you need to keep track of all of your deductible expenses. We all know that, as a business owner, we actually have quite a few deductions. There are actually over 475 tax deductions that you can qualify for as a business owner. However, if you are not knowledgeable and you have not educated yourself on that, then of course you won't be able to, you won't be able to use them. Okay. So when you are keeping track of all of your deductible expenses, you may forget what your expenses are when you prepare your tax return, unless you record them when they occur. So that's another reason why it's important to make sure that you are keeping good records. Okay. Now, when you prepare your tax returns, you need to have good records to prepare your tax returns. Now, these records must support the income, the expenses, and the credit that you report. Okay. Now, generally, these are the same records that you use to monitor your business and prepare your financial statements. Okay. Now, support items are reported on your tax returns. Now, you must keep your business records available at all times for inspection by the Internal Revenue Service. Now, anytime you are using your business, you're using your business on your tax return, you must make sure that you are compliant by keeping good records. You've got to have documentation of all of your receipts and everything that you have received as far as income, and also all of your expenses that are necessary for your business. Okay, so in other words, if the Internal Revenue Service audits you, you need to be able to have available all of this documentation. Okay. Now, if the IRS does examine any of your tax returns, you may be asked to explain the items that are reported. Okay. It also helps by keeping good records, and it will also help speed up the examination. So therefore, if you're audited and you go in and you take all of your documentation in, you will basically be in compliant when you've got everything organized. You want to make sure that your financial records are in order. Now, I want to encourage you to go to this website. Go to www.irs.gov and download publication number 583. Okay, it's called Starting a Business and Keeping Good Records. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of people don't like to mention this, but this is so important. This is the documentation here. A lot of times, again, we start businesses, but we don't really understand and know what it is that we need to be keeping good records on. So that's why you want to make sure you download this publication at the irs.gov website so that you can educate yourself on, all of the information that you need to know about keeping good records. Okay. All right. So that is that. So let me move on. Now, most of the time, I know when I first started business, this was my old way of keeping records. I used to keep file folders, labeled it from January through December, and I kept all of my receipts in those file folders. And then sometimes this is what my desk looked like. I had a box full of receipts that I just never actually recorded. I absolutely hated tax time because I just was not good at keeping good records. So that's why I wanted to do this video, because I recognize that this is just something that we are never trained on as business owners. Okay, you are expected to know this information and find out this information on your own. Okay, so my old way of keeping records, I used to use a spreadsheet just like this. But unfortunately, I did not know how to formulate, I didn't know the formulas to use so that it could give me a bird's eye view of my financial records where I was. I just didn't understand how to actually formulate all of the numbers. But basically, I took this printout sheet to my tax professional every single year, and this is what I use. It was a headache, and that's why I absolutely hated doing my taxes every single year because it was such a daunting task. Now, I'm sure that you probably have been going through some of the similar, some similar things that I've been going through. I had been going through as well. But I wanted to show you a new way, a powerful system on how to keep good records. Okay, it's called the Cash Flow Manager software. Now, I started using this software at the end of last year. And I was able to use it for my taxes this year, and I was absolutely blown away. More than anything, it's helping me now to be more conscious about where I am financially and to document my records right away. So I don't have to worry about when I get home, I've got to sit down and I've got to do that. Now, this system comes with software, an app that you can actually put on your phone and keep track of everything. Okay, it has the cash flow manager, it has the cash flow strategist, and it also has financial tools and everything that you need to keep your business and your personal life, your financial life in order. Okay, so the beauty of this particular system, I want to tell you about all of the features and all of the benefits as to the reason why you want to use this cash flow manager system. First of all, it tracks multiple businesses in one account. Okay, now I have a couple of businesses. Actually, I have three businesses. Okay, and you can keep track of all of your businesses and also your personal financial records. You can keep track of everything all under one umbrella. So it doesn't matter how many businesses that you have, everything is done all under this one cash flow manager system. It also helps to eliminate boxes of receipts. So if you're tired of constantly looking at all of those receipts, all you have to do is, number one, go in to your cash flow manager app. Take a picture if you're out and about and you're, let's say for instance, you're at Office Depot and you're buying supplies, office supplies for your business. So you take a picture of the receipt while you're out, go in and key in that entry right there in the car. I absolutely love it. Okay, so it captures your and stores your receipts online. They're stored in a cloud, so therefore you don't have to worry about keeping all of those receipts. Now, me personally, I keep all receipts for at least 30 days because, of course, if I needed to return anything, I've got a record of that receipt. So I keep that for at least 30 days. It also customizes your income and your expenses. So depending on where the income is coming from, you can go in and customize it. If you have specific expenses that are not already preset in the system, you can go in there and customize it. Okay, you can print your financial statement, your profit and loss, or your balance sheet. So again, if you're dealing with banks and creditors, you can go in and print out your balance sheet and you can produce your financial records right there to the bank and the creditor. Another thing that I love the most is that the monthly subscription is tax deductible. Absolutely love that. Okay. It also has a GPS mileage tracker to simplify your travel deductions. So when you first get in your car, you don't have to worry about the little, I used to use a notebook. You don't have to worry about that anymore. All you have to do is pick up your phone, open up your cash flow manager app, and it tracks all of your business mileage. Okay. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it has a preset and customizable income and expense category. So you can customize everything and tailor it to your business. It also has a recurring entry feature to minimize your work. So let's just say, for instance, you know that your cell phone is $50 every single month. All you have to do is go in and key in that one entry, set it as a recurring feature so that it populates every single month and ask you to confirm that entry. Powerful, powerful, powerful system. Now, best of all, the Cash Flow Manager software system works together with your desktop device and your mobile app. Okay, so you can install the mobile app on your phone and you can easily track your income and your expenses on the go. And later you can log into the cash flow manager website. You can view and edit your logged data. You can also go in and log in and print out your profit and loss or your balance sheet. So now I want to take an opportunity and just kind of show you around the system so that you can see how powerful the cash flow manager system actually is. Now you can see here I have all of my businesses plus I have my personal account information listed here. Okay, so you can go in, all you would have to do is go in and create a new cash flow manager. So let's say, for instance, you wanted to call your business whatever your business is. Let's just say, for instance, we're going to call this beauty business. Okay, and we're going to save this file. Okay, so all we would have to do is go in right here, click right here to enter a expense. So all you have to do is click right here on the expense type, and you can see here in the expense type that there are all these different categories listed here that you can key in the expense. So let's say, for instance, we went to the post office and we bought some stamps for our business, okay, and we spent $35. Okay, who did you spend that? Where did you spend that? Okay, and that was to the USPS. Okay, what was it for? Postage stamps. Okay, now where was it? In Atlanta. Okay, any specific notes that you'd like to indicate here, all you have to do is just indicate what those notes are. Now here is where you want to upload your receipt. So all you have to do is click on this the image there, go down and find your receipt, and all you have to do is upload it, and you'll see here that the receipt is already here. So how many miles did you go to the post office? So all you have to do is, if you had already used your tracker, your GPS tracker in your app, the app automatically tracked all of your mileage. Or you can go in here on your desktop and key it in manually. Okay, and this is where you set up your recurring transactions. So depending on what you have that's consistently being drafted from your account, or what you have as a recurring expense every month, all you have to do is go here to set that up. You can see here that you can set it up as a weekly occurrence, a bi-weekly occurrence, a monthly occurrence, a quarterly occurrence, or an annual occurrence. That's just how simple it is. And all you have to do is click right here and indicate the date in which you want the next recurrence to populate. So we're going to go right here and we're going to save this entry because we just indicated what that particular expense. So now we're going to go in and we're going to indicate income. We're going to report that we earned some income. Okay, so all you have to do is go right here, select your income type. Okay, if it's commissions or if it's interest, or you can go right here and create a custom income type. So let's just say, for instance, you had we're going to create a new custom type. Okay, so I'm going to click right here to create new, and I'm going to call this ABC company. Okay, and then I'm going to save it. Okay, so once I save that entry, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Okay, and I'm going to go into my income area here. Okay, and I'm going to key in and select the type. The type is ABC company. Okay, on today's date, let's say, for instance, I received $200 commissions today. Okay, who was it made to? It was made to me, Felita Daniely. Okay, what was it for? I'm just going to say leadership commission. Okay, where? I'll just say right here, online. Okay, if there are any notes that you want to indicate here, you can indicate them there. Now, if you have a copy of a check, You can take a picture of the actual check and then upload the file, or if it's automatically deposited into your bank account, just type in under the notes section, see bank statement, which will indicate and help to remind you or whoever's looking at that entry, just look at the bank statement. You can put like the month for the bank statement or whatever it might be. Okay, so now what I want to show you is the profit and loss statement. I want to show you the balance sheet. So you'll see here, right here, you see where I entered in the postage cost here. You see a copy of the receipt right here. This is one powerful system. You don't even have to worry about keeping all of those boxes of receipts any longer, because all of your receipts are actually stored in the cloud. So if you are ever audited by the Internal Revenue Service, all you have to do is go in and print out your printable view and take it to you to the IRS if you're ever, if you're ever audited, or if you ever is called in by the IRS. So all you have to do is print that out. Okay. Now I want to show you the profit and loss statement. This profit and loss statement is so powerful. It really helps you to see exactly where you are in business. This is the statement, your financial statement that you'll take to your financial, your tax professional or your accountant. You'll see here that all of your income is listed here at the top. You'll see down here all of your expenses are listed down here at the bottom. Now, this is, of course, is only, this is like a demo that I did here. You'll see here that all of the expenses that were recorded are listed here. This was the income for May and June. These are the expenses right here from January up until May. I didn't include anything for June because this is, like I said, this is my demo account. But you can see down here at the bottom where it says net cash flow. There's a net cash flow in the negative, $131.60, which means that the expenses for this particular business is currently outweighing the income. So your expenses are it's costing you more to operate this business than what you're actually bringing in. Now, this is not always a bad thing, because in business, it can be up and down. It can fluctuate. Some months you're up and then some months you're down. So it can fluctuate from month to month. But at least by looking at this profit and loss, this balance sheet, you can actually go in and make some adjustments in your business. So you maybe need to cut back on something. Maybe you need to cut back on some of the things that you're spending on some of the expenses, and maybe make a decision. You may need to service more customers, or you need to get more clients to increase the income so that you can make sure that you are in profit mode. And that's what I love the most about this powerful system, that it has everything that you need. So it'll give you a bird's eye view from January through December, the entire year, what your income is for each month and what your expenses were for every month. When I did this system, I'm telling you, I was just blown away to see exactly where I was with my financials. And one thing you always want to make sure that you are doing, you are on top of your money. You don't want to play around with your money. You want to make sure that you know exactly where you are in your business. Okay. Now, you will have an opportunity. I am offering you an opportunity to use this cash flow manager system free for 7 days. I'm giving you the opportunity to take advantage of a 7-day trial so that you can see exactly how powerful this system actually is. You can go in and start keying in your income, what your expenses are, so that you can actually get a bird's eye view of where you are. Okay, so all you'll need to do is just click on the link in the description. Look at the bottom of this video in the description. Click on that link and you can sign up for this 7-day free trial. Now, I do need to mention to you that I am affiliated with this company. As a matter of fact, this is one of my businesses. Okay. Now, should you decide to keep this cash flow manager software, All you have to do is just pay a monthly subscription of $10.95 a month. And again, your $10.95 per month is tax deductible. That's just how powerful this system is. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them for me in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Now, I don't know everything. I don't claim to be a tax professional, as I am not a tax professional. But since I have started using this cash flow manager system, I am feeling much more confident about my finances, both in my personal life and also in my home life, because I'm able to now get a bird's eye view of where my money is going. If you don't know where your money is going, then you'll never be able to reach any of your financial goals. So that's why it's important to make sure that you have a system to keep you on track and to help you to see exactly where you are so that you can make good financial decisions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. If you like this video and if you like this information that I shared with you, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. You know how I love those thumbs up. And also, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please be sure to click on the subscribe button so that you can get updates when I upload new videos. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I know that it was a little bit longer than most of my videos, but it was so much valuable information. I had to share all of this information with you. Okay, so again, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, take care, take charge, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.